morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the 903rd day of continuous and uninterrupted Zoom session of IFPH. Let us start today's program with a silent prayer for 1 minute. Thank you. Today, our guest is Dr. Sreedhara Kurup, retired Assistant Director, Central Council for Research in Homeopathy, a legend from India with more than 46 years of experience. The topic is My Experience in Tissue Remedies Part 2. We all know that the scope of homeopathy and it's a Hobson's choice for the day-to-day health issues of not only human beings but also animals. But what happened is that it is often play the second fiddle. That's the problem. And often the opponents playing some wrong tactics against homeopathy. So that must be responded strongly with the studs. That means we should have a sledgehammer response. That is more needed. A stern response is needed from the homeopathic fraternity. So today is day 903. I'm welcoming Dr. Sreedhara Kurup sir to have his topic and for the 45 minutes. So to you, sir, please proceed.
Yes.
Well, we know the relevance of this tissue remedies. 12 tissue remedies are there, and I'm sure that a lot of homeopathy lovers are also participating in the program. So for the information, just saying that 12 tissue remedies are there. It is based on the principles that movements of certain molecules across the cells or inside the cells is the cause of the real disease, and based upon that, Dr. William Schussler has developed these tissue remedies, and we are using 12 types of tissue remedies: the calcarea group, the calcium group, the sodium group, the potassium group, and the silicea and all the magnesium. So that we have 12 tissue remedies are there. That is used in the triturations often, and there is 2 in the decimal scale. That means 1 part of the medicine with 9 parts of the vehicle, that is sugar of milk. It is triturated and prepared as tablets with this fully mechanized process now. That is mentioned as tissue remedies. A lot of physicians are using these tissue remedies, and they're getting good results also, because it's the most suitable option, especially in case of supplementation. It's because of the dynamized form is often easy to assimilate and to create some positive response in the persons. Yes, sir, you can unmute now, sir. Yes. You can unmute now, sir.
Yes, some problems that in the net it came some problems. Sorry. Thank you very much for inviting me for this session. So today that I like to remember our father of homeopathy, Dr. Patrick Savanman, and my teachers and my all other well-wishers, and I am putting as a Guru Sakshana to them, and I like to welcome to you all who are listening to me. So always, but according to the Dr. Manoj said, that our opponents are always telling there's no scientificity in that our homeopathy. But this, I went through that several books, and in the biochemic medicines, it is mentioned each and every salt is having some affinity towards our organism, and that our body, and that is why it is. Last time I talked regarding to the regarding that the Natrum. Today I am going to say that the Natrum Natrum salt. Please, secretary, please screen sharing. First of all, I start with that this a case. It is not mentioned. It is first that Natrum Phos, then only Natrum salt is coming. Natrum Phos, that I shall talk about the first natrum phos, then I go to the natrum sulf. Yeah, if I may get time, that 2 medicines, otherwise I may go for only one, because I'd like to discuss with more with the paper. First, that I like to say about the case regarding that to be our 55 years old lady came for to the treatment for gastralgia, burning pain in the epigastric region, sour irritation with treated with 2 allopathic doctors, one Ayurvedic doctor, 6 years duration, and that they were diagnosed as gastralgia with entralgia. She met an accident 7 years back, and she took so much analgesics and the following symptoms were noticed, and she was going every month for blood transfusion because her hemoglobin was 6.5. Sour irritation, her symptoms as follows. Sour irritation with burning in the epigastrium since the last 6 years, blackish stool since 4 years. I already mentioned about her hemoglobin. ESR was so high, about 67. No appetite with severe weakness. Occasional vomiting, and that also with sometimes coffee color, empty gone sensation in the stomach. Advised for endoscopy. That because that the first she admitted the hospital, and one new doctor came to that hospital, one medicine professor, and then she was complaining. Then he asked that what happened. Then she told, narrated all this story, and then he told, then she asked that, what about your motion and how it is passing? Then she told that it is black because I am taking for to the blood, I am taking that vitamins and irons. That is why the doctor told it is due to that it is going. This new doctor advised her to stop for 15 days. When after stopped the 15 days, again the stool was passing that the blackish color, and then he immediately advised for the gastroendoscopy, and then endoscopic finding there were bleeding in the stomach. With that leads to diagnosis, but there was only some sour irritation and some burning pain was only their main symptom. For after that, slowly it developed. Then when I went on to the case that they may go for diagnosis and take someone, and because she was taking so many antibiotics and analgesics, that is why she got this problem. And also she was having so much, she met an accident about 10 years back. So she felt that she was worrying about that. That is also one of the cause. That endoscopy, it is diagnosed that it is the gastric ulcer. She was having another symptoms like that of vertigo while standing. Maybe it is due to the anemic condition. Most of the anemic conditions, when the patient will may not move, there would be vertigo. Usually it is a symptom. The main another symptom is yellow coating in the back up to the root of the mouth, and the most important characteristic symptom was the golden yellow coating at the back part of the tongue with blisters. That is the keynote symptom we can say in that the in the natrum phos. But in natrum sulf there is a greenish yellow coating in the tongue. These are the two remedies having coating that our thing that when we are going to do case taking and on examination, we can find out there will be always we must have to examine the tongue. And definitely there will be some in homeopathy, we can find out so many, even example that if you may see that most of the time when it is a Rustock's medicine, we can see the tongue triangular tip and imprint of the tongue on the teeth on the tongue also in Mersol and such medicine we can see. So we must have to be very careful whether it is speedy or not, whether you can follow or not. Hello?
Okay,
No.
okay. Everything is right, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. So last 23 years she was suffering from diabetes mellitus. Had blood sugar was always to be above, fasting is 150 and postprandial was 200, about 210. Her motion is always black with a sour smell, always having sour smell. That usually another medicine in our homeopathy for this is the Riem is another medicine for that. She is since last 2 years that menopause, and she was having a history of goiter. I treated with some specialist and she got relief, but not cured completely. Rheumatic arthritis, she was having some rheumatic complaint also, and with the small joints, or most of her small joints, especially in the legs and the fingers, that the carpal bones and the finger joints, there will be a swelling and with the pain. These are the symptoms. She was having a strong fear, something is going to happen. That it is always making her to be always, she was anxious and she was always, all her complaints were during the rainy season, it is during, and earlier she was having all these complaints. Before that, her menopause, during menses, it was more, and it was morning and evening. She cannot bear the open air. She closed always the door, and she cannot bear the fan, or that she will see that even in the ventilator is not closed, she cannot sleep. That was the problem. She likes to be always closed room. This was the condition, and I prescribed that the Natrum Phos first 3x, then 6x, 12x. Then it is completely continuously, but I took it is 1 or 2 months continuous, it is completely cured. The gastric ulcer is cured. Her hemoglobin was increased more than 10.5, and vertigo reduced, all complaints disappeared. Now she's, and even blood sugar came to down. So our medicines are very fantastic remedy. If it is indicated, definitely it can be completely, it can cure. So now I like to go to the its physiochemical data of the medicine. Medicine, that means blood, that sodium phosphate is 0.3 to 0.5 per 100. It is available in the muscles, nerves, brain cells, and intracellular fluids. Lactic acid decomposed in the carbonic acid and water. Natrum, that is sodium phosphate, absorbs carbonic acid, though causing to, when the carbonic acid freeze exchange for oxygen, which later is taken up by the iron contained in the RBC. It corrects the imperfect assimilation of fats and lack of bile. Very good remedy in gout and arthritis and rheumatism, etc. And any deficiency of sodium phosphate prevents the chemical changes, and lactic acid remains as such. So all signs and symptoms will start. Its deficiency causes uric acid problems and gout and rheumatism. it stops desire for morphine. Dr. Sreedhara found that this sodium phosphate is indicated for excess of acid in the body as it assists in the breaking down of the lactic acid. It helps and restore the proper pH balance in the body and nutritive acidic activity. This is a wonderful remedy for excess acid in the body and excess in lactic acid. It will relieve some of the problems like that of belching. Even the perspiration smells like that, some sour. Even children, it smells that sour smelling will come, that when they may come to very near to us. It is one of the best remedy for pinworm like tucrium. It will help peptic people, and people cannot eat acid things and sour fruits like that of orange, grapes, lime, kiwi, and eat coffee also. It will be causes problem. These are the main this physiological chemical data, and I am not going very detailed about to the mental picture of to the this medicine, because our Dr. Nitya was last week. She took a very good class regarding to the mental picture of that. This Natrum Phos. So now, will you please go for this Natrum Phos? Please show the Natrum Phos itself. That I like to explain about Natrum Phos. See, it is here. It is mentioned. This salt is found in the blood muscle. I already mentioned in intercellular. Though the presence of this acid is composed in carbonic acid and water, carbonic acid takes up 2 molecules for every and carries into the lungs, where the oxygen after the air sets acid free in the change of oxygen, which is later is taken up and contained in the blood corpuscles. Any deficiency of these chemical changes and the lactic acid remains as such in the blood. So that is why it is one of the best remedy. Another medicine in our Materia Medica is benzoic acid. Several times I cured with benzoic acid, but whenever the benzoic acid may not act, that I use that this Natrum Phos, one of the best medicine. See, if it is indicated, definitely it will act very wonders. Then the second, the great note for this remedy is the moist, creamy or golden yellow coating at the back part of the tongue. That degree in natural salt is also another keynote symptom is the greeny yellowish coating in the back of the tongue. These are the 2 medicines having the tongue coatings. Then 3, discharges from the eyes or sores are yellow, and creamy tongue, yellow throat, and tonsils are covered with yellow creamy coating. Or it helps people who cannot eat acidic foods, oranges, grapes, etc. that I already mentioned. Next, please. Next slide. Clinical uses. It is useful in the following diseases, ailments, when the general indigestion, digestive troubles like sour irritation, dyspepsia, acid stomach, heartburn, flatulence, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, etc. Abdominal colic, diarrhea, worms, especially in children, that especially pinworms. Usually we may give these tucrium and other medicines, but instead of that we can give that continuously, give the children the pinworms, that it will expel that. But in case of tapeworm, that our natural salt is the one of the best remedy. If we may give continuously, even tapeworm can be expelled. Then grinding the teeth and biting nails from worms, threadworms. Gout is one of the major area. I cured so many gout only with Natrum Phos. And then another part is rheumatism. Next slide, please. Lumbago cystitis, especially after acid food and drinks alcohol. Majani, it is from excessive yeast and or acid food. Good for detoxification. Hangovers with, usually we are giving Naxomica for hangovers, but even Natrum Phos can give after that. Definitely, if there is some kind of acidity and the gastric problem after drinking, the person may come. You can continuously give Natrum Phos. Definitely, it can, that can hangover problem will be solved. Food allergies, washing of bottle-fed babies, inability to gain weight with good food and intake. Next slide, please. Sensitive to sugar, blood sugar issues, never been well. That means when the diarrhea, flu, or other causes, or loss of blood from the hemorrhage, vital fluids. Even we can think about the China. In case of China, if it may fail, you can give the Natrum Phos. It is a wonderful medicine. That I already told about the sour smell of the body. That there you can think about our realm. Eyes, especially at tangles, muscle pain, sciatica, asini, etc. are the symptoms. That then we can whether it is speed, whether it is more speed or it is all right. Hello.
All right, sir. Please continue, sir. No problem.
No problem, because all must have to understand. That is why I'm asking. Because
Okay.
sometimes what we will, when reading that, it will become more speed. Because
Then I shall inform you, sir. Then I shall.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Mother, it is finished. So that this Natrum Phos is very good remedy for that. Mainly I used it for the gout and the mainly it is used for this gout and rheumatism and uric acid problem. Usually I may use benzoic acid. Sometimes benzoic acid may fail. That time I may use this Natrum Phos. It is one of the best remedy for such things, and even rheumatism. That even it is very good in such cases. The another case I like to mention is that the another case is there, that it is one lady came for me to the 15 years back. She came for me that for the treatment of that her varicose ulcer. Varicose ulcer. Then what happened, that it is cured with Parsatilla and Calcarea floor products and Amamilis mother tincture. It is completely trusted to the calendula powder. But that the last that she came for about 1 year back, she came for to the uric acid and the gout, but she was not mentioned that time. But now, because she cured completely with this Natrum and this Parsatilla, and is that now she came with that. She is 70 years old, and she was having history of to the depression. That because she was having a love with that in Hindu Nair families, there was a custom that they Morappan, that means these uncles, her mother's brother's son, she can marry. But they were in love with that. Anyway, that boy, when he got some good job, he married another woman, and she was so depressed that she was feeling that depressed. And but anyway, later she was great marriage and with a agricultural family, and she was somewhat better. Then all these things leads to be problems, depression and different other problems. And she was having history of her. She was having one sister. That sister is also having some asthmatic problem, and she is also having that the rheumatic complaint and the uric acid complaint that her sister is, younger sister is also having. She is about 10 years younger than that of her, and her family, there is a history of suicide. His elder brother was done suicide by hanging. He was a tankard, and his another brother is also a tankard, and these are the family history. And in the family, there are so many people are depression with suicidal tendency was there. But definitely, of course, suicidal tendency more than that of the natrum sulf is more indicated than natrum phos. But still, this case that because of the uric acid diathesis and rheumatism and all other cases that I prescribe natrum phos 6x, 12x up to 30x, it is completely cured. That is the second case. Now I like to go for natrum salt. Will you please show the natrum salt? We will say, usually the people will say, this our homeopathy, there is no scientificity. Definitely. When I went very deep to the our biochemical remedy, each remedy is having, it is having some chemical contents, and it is having, if its deficiency can cause so many signs and symptoms in our body. That is why I am going for the physiological chemical data. This salt, this inorganic salt is found into the cellular fluids, and the office is to be regulate the water in the tissue, blood and fluids up to the body. Sodium sulfate regulates the amount of having to the eliminate any excess that may from any case. It is may be present in molecules of sodium sulfate, has the power to take and the organism to molecules of water. So sodium sulfate is present in proper quantity in the body. A deficiency of the prevents the elimination of such water from the tissues and by oxidation of organic water. This salt does not appear in the cells, only in the intercellular fluids. It helps and regulate the excretion of the sulfurous water. Example, which arises decomposition of lactic acid and phosphate of sodium. Disturbance of the molecular motion of this salt prevents elimination of such water from to the tissue as is produced by the oxidation of organic substance. Action of natrum salt is just opposite to natrum more. Both will have attract water, but the opposite purpose. Natrum more used to the organism, but natrum salt about to the water due to the regulate metamorphosis, and secure is securities both will attack water, but opposite purposes not more. Used to the organism, but natrum salt about to the water due to the regulate the metamorphosis. Secretes, it's the elimination from the organism. Natrum salt is a good remedy for good remedy because it takes any away from water from worn out and accomplished there. It disintegrates. It is very It is very good in diabetes mellitus. It lessens to the secretion of pancreatic fluid. It is a heterogeneous constitution remedy according to John Gravel, that we know whenever there the water, that the water settlements are there, or dam or cellars, when the people are living there, they are suffering more. There the natrum salt is very indicated. So all complaints are aggravation by nearby water or damping wells or cellars or other such conditions. Dirty greenish gray brown coating onto the root of the tongue, aggravation by on left side. These are the two major red line symptom of to the natrum salt. And also one more symptoms, I found out that it is the aggravation in early morning. That is the 4 to 5 o'clock aggravation is one of the most important symptom of the natrum salt. It can expel the tapeworms. I already mentioned. Natrum salt card at the root of to the one of the best medicine according to the Dr. Bin J. Urnasi is setting. It is one of the best remedy for the asthma and the heterogeneous constitution. Even Dr. John Gravel also mentioned the characteristic indication. In complaints that are brought to on by lying on damp houses, basements, cellars in rainy season. Second, complaints are birds in the weather corresponding to the heterogeneous constitution, psychotic dyscrasia, constitutional condition result in chest, catarrh, and asthmatic complaints. When lying on left side, it will be more, and also there will be some expectations, and vomiting will give relief. Then the chief characteristic is in dirty greenish gray and greenish brown. The root of the tongue indicates an excess bile. Bile denotes the deficiency of the bile and requires sometimes Karimur also may be required. When I may come to Karimur, I shall take more about this. Bilious causes from to the liver secreting excess of bile and mouthful of slime, bilious vomiting, bilious diarrhea, loose morning stool. See that I observed, I cured so many cases of liver problems and cirrhosis of liver, and along with that, I cured so many cases of jaundice. Nowadays, it is not, I don't know whether all the homeopathy doctors are getting that much jaundice. In the earlier days, whenever a jaundice we may get, I'm not talking now, about 30 years back. Whenever a homeopathy, a person may get jaundice, they will run to the homeopaths, and I cured so many cases with chelidonium along with natrum salt only. Not any other medicine was given. Chelidonium mother tincture was given, and natrum salt 6x or 12x was an excellent remedy for liver complaint. Cirrhosis of liver also it can be cured. And cirrhosis of liver, I am giving that about Cardus maritima. So it is, these are the two remedies very good for that. Next slide, please. See the coating out to the tongue, you can see. See, this is the coating out to the tongue. So we must be always, we homeopaths must have to see the mouth and the tongue, and or we must have to examine these things. Okay, next slide, please. This is the coating out to the tongue. Then aggravation from lying on left side, peers discourage and despondent, birds in the morning and in damp weather, greenish purulent discharges, especially the asthma. There is a expectation, there is a greenish purulent discharge will be there. Modalities, all symptoms are birds in morning and damp, rainy weather, feels better in dry, warm, and atmosphere. Complaints from the lying in damp building or basements, etc., or from eating water plants, fish, and etc. And also, I cured a case that a case that it is treated with even so many homeopathy doctors. Then I asked, and finding that it is that their house was staying in surrounded by water. That also the wastewater was going in just like that of an island in the rivers in between this side. So I advised them for some time, you must have to change the place and they will feel better. But after giving continuously this natural salt 6x and 12x, it is completely cured. So it is one of the, and also the watermelon and etc. When that if cough and that the our tubercular constitution, when cough is more, and when you may take watermelon and such type of fruits, if you may, which contains more water content, or if it may be the after taking bath or when there is rainy season and etc., the asthma are more. If you may give natrum salt, it can be cured. The potency, usually people are giving potency, but these 6x, 12x, even up to 30x, I give several times and cured so many cases. And another thing I like to mention that I conducted a research in 20 years regarding asthma. Within that, the one of the best remedy came for that natural salt. Usually, if I may give, the arsenic will give relief, but it will not cure. The modality will change. It will be the night, midnight aggravation. But that what happened when we may give the arsenic, but definitely its modality, then it will change it to the early morning. Then what I may do, usually I may give tuberculinum or bacillinum or sorinum, whatever it may be, and an intercurrent remedy according to the indication, and an intercurrent remedy, then last it will show its clear picture. So usually then it will come to early morning aggravation, that is 4 to 5 o'clock. Then this natural salt was given and so many cases was completely cured. That is my experience in 20 years experience in treating asthma. Asthma and other, it has been useful in treating following conditions when the above characteristic indications are present. Asthma and other respiratory infections, liver diseases, I already mentioned in jaundice, broader border disorders, diabetes, head injuries, never well since, suicide and depression. One case I completely cured with suicide. There are two medicines in our Media. One is Oromet and another is natural salt. These are the two remedies. If you may not give correctly in time, if you are not identified, definitely the patient will do suicide. It can prevent. If you may give natural salt and Oromet, they will not do suicide. Sometimes it is very difficult to identify. That time they may do it. If you may give these two medicine, definitely they cannot do the suicide. Their thinking will change. This is the only medicine in our world that only this homeopathic medicine can change physical, mental, and emotional level. There will be a change. Definite. I can assure you. I cured so many cases. Then another is dropsy, warts, and etc. Gout, uric acid, warts, vomiting. It is very good remedy for vomiting in pregnancy. That is morning sickness. Now, I like to go for discussion because there are, if I may take another 2-3 case record, case histories are there. If I may go, then it may not be, time may not be sufficient for discussion. So I like to go for discussion, and If anybody likes to add, they can add their experiences also. What I feel that is good. Discussion is essential. Then only the
Yes.
interaction is there. Then only, yeah, even it is a web seminar.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. You have finished. Now it's time for discussion. Those who would like to participate, please go to the participant list and raise your hand. And most important thing is that Sreedhara Kurup sir is one of the most experienced person on this platform for the last 46 to 50 years. He's practicing homeopathy and definitely he's still studying. That's the most important thing. And we must take that example, living example, how we can improve professionally. Is working. Natrum Phos, we all know that's the importance of these medicines, and these medicines are proved according to homeopathic methods also. So in both ways it can be used. That is the most important thing. When anybody would like to participate, you can ask. So regarding this tapeworm and pinworm, you said about this natrum sulfur and natrum phos. In case of tapeworm, it is natrum sulfur, sir.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely it can be. We feel that only mother tincture, tucurium or sina or such medicines only can do it wonders, but it can be even sulfur. But these tissue remedies also can expel the worms. And another thing I forgot to tell you, the expulsion of the stones, the natrum phos 1x was very useful, one lower potencies. Up to 3x I was using. It is very good for expelling to the, it can prevent, especially the uric acid stones. Even the diathesis can stop, because repeated operation people, I am remembering a case that 5 times operated, that is with only with natrum phos, that I cured completely with that. It can prevent the uric acid diathesis, and they may have a craving for taking more meat and eggs and etc. They may have. Then they will get the uric acid crystals in their bladder, and it will expel, and there will be bleeding, sometimes bleeding and this severe pain, etc. This can stop, that I forget. And another thing, that the natrum sulfur, it can be prevent to the gallbladder stone also. That is my experience I am narrating here. Thank you. If anyone is likes to add, you can add. Otherwise, you can any question, then I can answer.
Sir, yesterday there was our family meet program there. During that session, one of the doctors from this group asked me about the advice, whether Hanuman was advised to give any mother tinctures for any conditions. Well, I just replied on that. You can see in the introduction, Hanuman says, the male fern tincture, that is Felix Mas tincture in small dose, can be given for this worm complaints, but a permanent cure. But a cure is established only by giving the antibiotic medicines. That is, you can see in the introduction to the organ of medicine, the 5th edition, you can see.
Yes,
sir.
it is correct. I too experience that. But reoccurrence can occur if he may not give the constitutional remedy.
But the most important thing is that he advises to improve the hygienic measures. That is very important. The preventive medicine, the community medicine, in fact, it was started from Hanuman. You can see in the lesser writings, the medicine of experience. There are a lot of examples are given by Hanuman for all these things. I think our Hariharan sir is ready to talk something because of his dear friend Sreedhara Kurup sir has already delivered a surprise. Please unmute, sir.
Okay. Dr. Sreedhara Kurup sir, we are very fortunate to hear you. Your experience is very wonderful. A lot of experience of about 48 or 50 years of experience you have in different subjects. At any subject, you are well versed. There is particular portion. You can take class at any subjects that I understood from your from this IFBS platform. You came here with several subjects and you are well versed in that. See, doctor, congratulations. I have nothing to add because you have said almost all. You have said almost all, see. So nothing to add. Come again to take another class. Thank you very much, doctor. Okay.
Yes, our homeopathic level doc, Velapambala sir is ready to ask something. Yes, sir, please, you can unmute. Velapam sir, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Very happy to be here. I think I should say something about the yesterday's family get together, since I have attended. For the non-attendees, they should be informed about the excitement we had there. All our sir was there, and so many people were there. We were, even though we are seeing every day and talking, the real meeting changed everything. We were very, very excited to see all of us together. About 150, more than 150 persons were attended, and then the place, the venue was very much very good, far away from the city disturbances. Very good atmosphere, and I appreciate the leaders for selecting such a place for our get together. So the ladies and children were very much enjoyed the venue. It was an AC hall, very well furnished and very comfortable, and we had a very good time spending each other. Everybody was when I reached there at about 8:40. Then our Shaji sir was there with the Sanda sir, madam, and so many people were there. At early, the time was at 9 o'clock. They were early. They were waiting for us, and you could see in real person. It is only we cannot say any words are not complete to express our excitement and our feelings. Everybody was happy. It was really, we can see from their face how they are enjoying the happiness. Everybody was loving and caring. No, there is no difference between seniors and juniors. Everybody was spending happy time.
Yes, sir.
In the morning,
Yes.
it just because of the, we were waiting for people. Somewhere from Trivandrum also people came by taking extra vehicle. So we have to wait for them. So it started a little bit late, but we didn't got any boring because everyone was talking and maintaining their relationship.
Yes, sir. Definitely, your presence was needs some reference because you are always there, patrolling in almost all areas and watching and giving some suggestions and advices and controlling and correcting, contacting or connecting everybody is very wonderful. Now you are. There is no doubt about that. The role you played is very good. So thank you, sir, for your participation. Yes.
Thank you, sir. And our Hubert sir was with this instrument, this music instrument.
Yes.
So he was taken so much trouble to take those things. And there were so many artists in our doctors forum. Everybody was giving their form of this, comedy and music, songs, everything was there. And they have arranged music artists also.
Yes, sir. Everything is there in the Facebook, sir. Live was there. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Now Dr. Jela joined. Yes, please.
So I may request that those who are not attended, they should come in the next meeting. That is what I want to say. Thank you all the leaders for arranging such a thing. Even though we have spent so much money, but it is not when compared to our excitement and happiness, it is nothing. We cannot.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving me a chance.
Now, Dr. Jela, please. You can unmute now, Dr. Jela.
Okay, sir. It was excellent, sir. Excellent class session was that. I want to know In the case of head injury, which potency of natron sulfur is better for this head injury? That is,
Really, I usually give that the 0/3 along with natron sulfur 6x also, which is having a wonderful effect. Because 2-3 cases only in my life, head injury got completely cured with that even that the natron sulfur, only with natron sulfur.
okay, sir. Other
And
doctors told me that
I forgot to tell that, but thank you very much for reminding me that regarding that the head injury. It is one of the wonderful remedy for head injury. One case I am remembering, one boy got mental diseases after that, depression and anxiety neurosis with after an head injury in an accident. It is completely cured with natron sulfur only. Completely.
sometimes some patients have the tendency to suicidal tendency after this head injury. Is it?
Yes, mainly I already mentioned there are two remedies in our Media Medica. One is Oromet and one is natron sulfur. If you may not give in corrected time, if you may not able to, they may do suicide.
One experienced doctor told me to give that natron sulfur 200 or 1 is better for this bad effects of head injury. Is it correct?
I may give 0/3 along with always I may give the most of the time I may along with that the this decimal potency also.
Yes, doctor. These are
Thank you, sir.
These are always conditional depending upon the age of the patient. A lot of conditions are there. You have to decide on the potency. Now, Dr. Ramadevi Ambadi, please. You can unmute her, madam, please.
See, usually for head injury, we used to give natrum sulfur 10. I used to give natrum sulfur 10. Then to Mr. Sreedhara Kurup, I want to tell. See, our existence, our doctors, we homeopathy doctors' existence are depending on you people, homeopathic lovers as well as users. Then only we can exist. I want to tell that we are grateful to you people. Then homeopathic lovers and users. That's all. Okay.
Yes, of course, it is mutualism always. Yes. Now, Dr. Hubert De Silva, please unmute now. You can unmute now, Dr. Hubert. Please.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dr. Sreedhara Kurup sir, it was a very nice presentation, always like that. So I want to ask you.
Yes.
Amnesia, after some head injury, there may be amnesia. For that, anything you can say? Amnesia.
I give usually natron sulfur. Along with that, I may usually give that the me mother tincture sometimes I may give. Then one more is there. One more mother tincture is there. It is very good. That I am not remembering his name. Will you able to tell that one mother tincture is there? That I may give. That is a very good mother tincture, and I am not remembering immediately. It is not coming into my mind. Jinga Bailoma.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
That I cured so many cases. It will improve to the memory also. Some people may forgetfulness and cannot concentrate. I may give. Sometimes I may give along with that the Cardiopose also. Cardiopose is also one of the best remedy for memory. It will improve memory and to the concentration. It will help. That's so many cases.
Thank you very much.
It is very good.
Thank you very much, sir.
You try it.
Yeah.
And you tell me how it will.
It is great because these are some of the greatest. The more in such conditions, we may be failed to make it grow that to improve that memory. So that is why I asked you.
Jinga Bailoma.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for this information.
Yes, that is the most important thing. And of course, homeopathy is not at all ready to throw someone under bus with speculations. That's most important. Everything is very much clear, definite as far as the medicine is concerned. Now, Hariran sir, what is your opinion, sir? Sir, did you raise the hand? Yes, sir. Hariran sir, please.
He's muted. He's muted.
Please unmute, sir. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
sir.
okay. Okay, what Dr. Sreedhara Kurup said is very correct. And Dr. Ramadevi said is also correct. But in Kend Materia Medica, in Natrum chapter, Kend said that for chronic injury of head, Natrum is the best remedy. Likewise, I read years back, I read like that. I am usually giving that also. Again, for that memory deficiency, zingomyeloma and califos is the best medicine we can give. But always take the case and see, find out some 1 or 2 or 3 rubrics and prescribe the medicine. That is the best way. Ultimate final thing I like to say is that is the best way. There is
Yes,
no.
sir. The reason or logic is that it always depends upon symptoms. Why you give arnica? It's about symptoms. Why you said about natrum? It's about symptoms. So symptoms is the final judge. That's the most important thing, sir. Yes, I think you can. Yes, sir. Please express a lot of thanks also, sir. Yes, please.
So Dr. Sreedhara Kurup is, I already said about him. He's a wonderful personality. I liked him very much. Memory, even then, his memory is very, very clear. When I talk to him certain subject, his answer is very clear, and it is when I'm refer the materia medica, it is very, very correct. So such a wonderful man is in our IFBS, creates so much enthusiasm in our listeners. Okay, doctor, thank you very much. Come again. And
yes. Okay.
Good night.
Well, the persons from the old generation, they are not at all addicted with this digital amnesia. That is the most important thing. They are not at all going through the digital world. That may be another reason for they are still retaining or regaining the memory. This is the most important thing. Their remarks. Let me conclude today's session. Hope you to meet same day tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. And it is Dr. A.R. Ashok Kumar to continue the program in Malayalam. Thank you. Namaskar.